New this morning, a Missouri appeals court judge will take over the Ferguson court system. The state Supreme Court says the judge will hear all of Ferguson's pending and future municipal court cases. This coming after a Justice Department report criticized the city's police and court system for discrimination, among other things. Now, other state leaders want more oversight in the city's court system. One state lawmaker will introduce legislation to prohibit attorneys from serving multiple roles in municipal courts.
Right here in this very region, we have individuals that serve as judges, prosecutors, and defense attorneys. No wonder they didn't see a problem.
Let Ferguson be the example of what's not acceptable in America.
The new judge will take over the Ferguson Municipal Court system next week.
Tensions remain high in Madison, Wisconsin after an officer shot and killed an unarmed teenager. An officer shot 19-year-old Tony Terrell Robinson on Friday. Robinson is biracial. Police say they were called to the house because of a fight happening inside. That's when officials say Robinson attacked Officer Matt Kenny, causing him to use deadly force. Hundreds gathered throughout the weekend and yesterday in protest. Family members want those demonstrations to remain peaceful.
And has never been a violent person, never. And to die in such a violent way it baffles me.
Public records show the 19-year-old had a criminal history, and court documents show Robinson actually pleaded guilty in December to armed robbery, which happened earlier in 2014. An investigation into the shooting is underway.
All right, we have that breaking news this morning as a jury reaches a verdict in the Meridian Hills home invasion trial. Told you it was coming, and it has now come in. Fox 59's Lindy Thaxton telling us all 4 suspects were found guilty on most counts. It was read, the verdict was read at 3:55 this morning, about 15 minutes ago. Sentencing, by the way, will be April the 8th. Fox 59's Lindy Thaxton again was in the courtroom as that verdict came down, and she will join us live in just a few minutes. 47 Republican senators have signed an open letter to the leaders of Iran. It warns any nuclear deal must be approved by them. In reality, they're wrong. It is purely up to the president. The letter reminds Iran that the U.S. president's term ends in 2017, and a new president or Congress could change any agreement at any time. President Obama is saying his congressional opponents are aligning themselves with Iranian hardliners.
I think it's somewhat ironic to see some members of Congress wanting to make common cause with the hardliners in Iran. It's an unusual coalition.
Republicans object to that proposal because it allows Iran to enrich uranium. The deal would expire after 10 years. All 4 of the Senate's potential Republican presidential contenders have signed that letter. Meanwhile, the president wants more Americans to be trained for high-tech jobs. He announced a new program yesterday called Tech Hire. It's expected to be the biggest federal boost to non-college skills training in history. The White House wants to place 50,000 graduates in high-paying jobs. Those would include software development and cybersecurity.
Apple reveals their long-awaited smartwatch. It will be available in 3 different models, and that includes one encased in 18-karat gold. It's going to cost $10,000, and then the other models start at $349. It needs an iPhone to connect to the internet and allow you to check email, texts, and it can also take calls through the watch as well. Apple CEO Tim Cook says it's extremely accurate at keeping time with a variety of displays. One even uses an aging flower to express time. Now, a lot of people are tweeting about this one, but the tweet of the day goes to Comedy Central, who noted this. The Apple Watch finally allows users to ruin 2 devices when they reach into the toilet to retrieve their iPhone. I don't think I've ever dropped my phone in the toilet.
No, you keep a tight grip on that sucker. So you're good to go.
Have you?
I think I've come really close. I did one of these drop and then bat it away right before it drops in there.
I don't think I ever have.
No, a little too much multitasking, quite frankly. All right, go ahead.
That's TMI.
You can make up your own idea of what multitasking entails there.
4:16 right now. We've been talking about emojis a lot lately. The conversation continues now due to a new offering by Facebook.
So does this offend you? Simply put, it allows you to tell your friends that you are feeling fat. So yeah, that did not really go over well, at least with some. Some critics saying the status update is really making fun of obesity, which can include people who have eating disorders. A group called Endangered Bodies has started a Fat is Not a Feeling campaign against the emoji. They also started a petition on change.org to ban the feeling fat emoji. Of course, they can't ban anything. It's still up to the creators. Even so, that campaign has already received 13,000 signatures in just a short 2 weeks.
I do think that is a weird emoji.
I don't see that as feeling fat. That looks like a happy person. That
Yeah.
emoji, was that it? Because just
I guess
looked
so.
like
You're right, because it should be like a bloated.
Yeah,
or
or
like
something that looks more like that.
I don't know, but I still think it's
They
weird.
really don't need our help. Time right now is 4:17.
All right, let's check in with Jim to talk about the weather on this Tuesday. Hey there, Jim.
Hey guys, yeah, we're looking at dry conditions so far here in the city, but if we look to the south of downtown, we're tracking rain already. In fact, you can see that rain falling steadily down towards Bloomington this morning, also out towards Columbus. So this is the leading edge of the rain that'll be creeping in here, it looks like, later on this morning. So it will be a wet rush hour for some areas, it looks like. In fact, most of us will see some type of precipitation in the form of light drizzle, perhaps a passing shower, or just steady rain altogether. So it will be wet for today, it looks like, as we'll have these bands of rain moving through. And as you'll notice, some of the heavier pockets in between Bedford and up towards Bloomington this morning. Also out towards Spencer, extending down towards Bloomfield, nearing Martinsville now into Edinburgh this morning, not quite into Shelbyville, but Columbus getting to some rain, some Seymour, down in Seymour, I should say, also seeing some rain. You can certainly see the plume of moisture. This is the same area of rain that I was tracking yesterday coming out of Texas. Well, it's drifted off towards the northeast now, shutting down the rain across Texas, but thunderstorms developing now across sections of Louisiana, also out towards Mississippi this morning. A very narrow band of rain and thunderstorms down there. No storms for us, but definitely some rain in the forecast, it looks like, for today. We're at 41 right now and rather cloudy out at the airport. It's currently 42 in Anderson, certainly a milder start. Keep in mind, highs yesterday hit 48 here in the city, and we're already starting out in the lower 40s in most locations this morning. How warm does it get this afternoon? Upper 40s to right around 50 degrees will be our expected high, it looks like, for today, and it will be wet off and on throughout the morning and afternoon hours. So a wet day shaping up as well, passing showers. You'll notice from our Fox Futurecast here going throughout the day, there's that push of rain by 3 o'clock this afternoon. A few thunderstorms perhaps down through Kentucky, also out towards Tennessee. The rain starts to pull out of here later on this evening. I think we'll see some patchy fog late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then eventually some sunshine will start to work in, it looks like, for tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures for tomorrow will be in the mid to low 50s, and it looks like we'll be dry for Wednesday, dry on Thursday, and then rain chances returning on Friday. How much rainfall expected? Well, this system now is inching further to the north, so areas like Kokomo and Lafayette could see about a tenth of an inch of rain, but easily perhaps a quarter of an inch, maybe a third of an inch of rain from Muncie down through the city, out through Terre Haute, and up to a half an inch of rain down towards Columbus as well as into the Bloomington area. Bottom line, you want to have the rain gear handy for today, as it will be overcast and we'll have passing showers and pockets of steady rain. It will be a cloudy and damp day with southeasterly winds turning northwesterly at 7 miles per hour. And then for tonight, it looks like the rain will begin to taper off late. Some areas of fog early tomorrow morning down to 40 degrees. And as we get into the 7-day forecast here, temperatures of 55 for tomorrow. We're going to go 56 on Thursday, dry for the next couple of days. Rain on Friday, and then heading into the weekend, slightly cooler temperatures. But how about that 60-degree temperature? Actually 62 by Monday of next week.
Jim, thank you. Time right now is 4:20. Breaking news this morning as a jury reaching that verdict in the Meridian Hills home invasion trial. Fox 59's Lindy Thaxton was in the courtroom just moments ago as the verdict came down. Lindy, what can you tell us exactly what was reached, if you could recap that, and was there any immediate reaction to it?
Well, I can tell you it was tense in there. All four were in there: Dupree, Pugh, Brown, and Anthony. All four found guilty. Anthony was found guilty on all of the charges. The other three were found guilty on most of them. They all faced around 35 counts of all sorts of charges: rape, burglary, intimidation, robbery, battery, deviant conduct, criminal confinement, and the list really goes on from there. All of them just stared at the jurors. Those jurors had been deliberating since 5 o'clock last night. The verdict started to be read at 3:55 a.m. Of course, they were tired. They, to me, didn't look like they were that tired, but you know they had to be. Afterwards, the judge thanked them, said, "I know this has been really difficult for all of you." Now, there was a basically star witness in this case, and he was one of the co-defendants, one of the suspects in this, and he pleaded guilty back in February to rape, criminal deviant conduct, robbery, and burglary, and he was used as a star witness in this. So there was a fifth person, and his case was already done. Now, sentencing for these four has been set for April 8th. One of them, Brown, after his stuff was read, his attorney asked if he could leave the courtroom, and when he stood up, it sounded like he said, "For real, I'm not sad, this ain't," and then used an expletive. I talked to his defense attorney afterwards. We did get him on tape, so you'll hear from that coming up a little bit in the show. But he said he would not comment on exactly what he said and said that he did not want to get into that. So that's what happened in there. Some of the four guys' family was in there. They did not want to talk afterwards. They were upset that we were up there. None of the family, the victim's family, was in there that I saw when the verdicts were being read. We did talk to one of the women, though, one of the victims yesterday, and you'll also hear from her coming up later in the show. But that's the latest here from the courthouse for now. Back to you guys.
All right, Lindy Thaxton, thank you very much. Again, all four suspects found guilty on most of the counts, one on all of the counts. More on that coming up. Time right now is 4:23. A man trying to live out his major league dreams after losing both of his legs while serving overseas.
We will introduce you to him right after this break.
Also coming up, let's party with Bill Belichick. We're going to share the story behind this hilarious wedding invitation that is now going viral. He looks excited.